All right. We're here at Dallas Autorama at Market Hall. I'm Justin.
And I am Aaron.
And we are here at Autorama today. Now, Autorama is a different kind of car show. It's part of the World of Wheels group of car shows, and it travels from town to town. And there is some amazing stuff at Autorama today. Before we go too much further though, I want you to subscribe for more great content like this, and then we'll walk around and show you what the show is like.
And make sure to stay tuned, because not every superhero has a car, but one superhero has the best ones, and we're going to show them to you.
Let's go check it out. Now, we've been to Iron Horse Classics a couple times, and I think on video at least once, and here is one of their builds here at Autorama, and this is a great truck.
Beautiful build.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
It's called Root Beer, and it is just amazing. We've got some great B-roll of this thing. It's really the details that make it happen, but what a beautiful car.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a 5-window Chevy. Guy always wanted a 5-window, saw one sitting by the road, had to have it, went and negotiated the deal, and wanted to make a show truck out of it, and boy did he. But this truck is really well done, meticulously gone through by Iron Horse, and it is amazing.
This truck is a hell of a build. It's got a brand new 383, everything's been done, frame, body, and look, the exhaust comes out of the running boards there.
I know, that's a great touch. The interior, I think it looks really good with that, those brown leather
Fantastic.
seats.
I shudder to think what it costs. And he's got candy in the display, and that's one of the most fun parts of Autorama are the various displays. It's one of the awards you can win here. It is Best Display.
Absolutely. There's a lot of great touches. If you like displays, I think you're going to like Phantasm.
Phantasm. It's
Yes.
a whole theme. We've got ghosts, we've got even down to
the
floor.
It's fall now. I want you to put you in a place where it's fall, there's pumpkins around.
The scariest season.
Yes, it's dark a little bit early, and you can really get that vibe from this booth right here.
And my question is this a ghost air cleaner or is it a UFO? Who knows? It's all in the display.
I don't know. We got a ghost over here in the cauldron or the
Phantasm.
instrument.
That's from the movie Phantasm. So
what movie?
You've never seen Phantasm?
I've never seen Phantasm.
Go watch Phantasm.
All
right, let's go see what else we can find out here on Autorama. Autorama also brings your clubs out. And here we have the Mustang Club next to us. The Jaguar Club is in the other building. And having these clubs out here with their displays, it's another prize that you can win from Autorama is Best Club Display.
It is, absolutely. And it's great when you do have the clubs come out, because you can get a lot of the different marquees and the trim levels from the different marquees. Like we have a California Special Mustang.
Right.
Always, it's just one of the premier trim levels they had for Mustangs
and with
through the years.
with clubs you get both stock cars and then you get customized cars as well. Mustang Club has both modern and classic Mustangs. It's really a great showing here. We have the Pontiac Club coming up over here.
If you want to see Smokey and the Bandit,
this is the place.
yeah, you come out to Autorama.
There's more than one here.
And this is great. You got the vendors out here, so you can come and check out the equipment and see if you actually want to buy it. Here on Saturday afternoon, you're going to see all the kids out here just jamming this transmission left and right. Fun fact, this is actually how they stress test them.
And it's a nice way for you to boost your immune system. Come lick one of those transmission balls later, and you'll turn out okay. Now, over here is one of my favorites in the show.
You know, there's even some undercover vendors here as well. I can say that, well, we've never been a part of that, but here we've got what I would call an undercover vendor here. But this is really cool.
This is something else, that's for sure.
I mean, look, I just really like it when you lean hard into whatever theme you're going for, and this one is leaning hard into JDM. Love it.
It's something else. And this is a right-hand drive car, so someone took the energy and money to import it and then did all this to it.
I just think this is a very cool build. I mean, it's very JDM, obviously. I don't own any Japanese cars, but...
your wife drives a Toyota.
Okay, I
don't own any Japanese cars.
But this one's been to SEMA 3 times. So this is not just your run-of-the-mill build. There are not any other imports at this show so far that I've seen, I think.
I don't think
At
so.
least no Japanese imports at this show that I've seen. So this is pretty unique for this show. It's very heavy on American muscle in those builds.
But it's also about custom cars, and this is custom. That's certainly something else. Now this is the one that makes my socks go up and down. If you've watched our channel at all.
Nice display.
Very nice display. But if you've watched our channel at all, you know that we have a milk truck that's built on a Ford Lightning. Now this is even rarer, I think, than that, because there's more than one of them. So it's a production run. This is a stretched Ford Lightning F-150. There were 20 of these built. There was a company in the 90s who has since gone out of business who took these Lightnings and stretched them out. Now, The guy who owns this one has done a lot more than that, but this is a rare, original-ish Lightning truck. And just kind of neat. There's 20 of these made. Really, really neat to see this. And you know I love my Lightning.
Yeah, now this one is not the original coach builder. They use the original chassis.
Right.
All right, the original 351 Windsor, but when this owner got it, they did a motor swap. So this one does not have the original 351 Windsor in it. The owner swapped that out for a 427 stroker, aluminum block, aluminum heads. This thing will flat out haul 600 horsepower, I think. Really, really cool truck. I'm glad it's here.
And now here's something that we've learned is that these GM Sportsters travel in pairs. This is a Solstice Street Edition for our newfound audience, and this is one of 130 of those produced, and you see it's already had an offspring, so that's great to see that in the wild here at the show. Really a neat thing. Now let's go see what else we can find around here.
Is that a Ferrari?
No, it's a Fiero.
What's that?
I think you know what that is. That's a Fiero that's been Ferrarized.
Absolutely.
And this one is still a project in process. I think if you were in the right lighting at night with someone with poor vision, you could probably pick up a girl with this thing.
I agree. With the right exhaust, I think you can get it done.
I think
but this is a really cool Fiero display.
It is.
If you like Fieros, we got all of them here. I mean, there are some of the best Fieros.
There may have never been an assemblage of this many Fieros in one place at this time before. Some great ones too. Let's take a look. We have a pace car. And I like, when it comes to Fieros, my favorite Fieros are these, I think they're early gen. I don't know much about Fieros, but they have the slanted back as opposed to the GTs, which have the more curved 380Z style body, or at least reminiscent of it.
Yeah.
So Fieros are a lot of fun.
Yeah. So we got the pace car. Certainly the GT is a fantastic trim level for this car, and this one is very clean. This is a very nice Fiero.
So do you know the story about the Fiero?
I do not know the story of
the Fiero. So there's a little bit of so the Fiero was a car that should have been faster, and when they were originally building it, GM realized they had a better car here than the Corvette had they put the right motor in it. So they made it anemic. They tuned it down so that it wouldn't take the top spot from the Corvette. But Fieros are awesome. They've always been really great. I love these cars. They were all over when I was in high school, and you don't see them very often anymore. And as we said, there's some great examples. Come check this one out.
Another great trim level for the Fiero. Pontiac, of course, has their GXP. We just showed you a GXP Solstice recently. Here is a GXP Fiero.
There we go.
Very cool. I like the copper color.
I'm going to pull back the curtain and break the fourth wall. Grayson hates that we're talking so much about Fieros, but I got to talk about this one.
Love the paint job.
I do too.
Yeah.
If you remember and you go back and watch our Light Bright video, Brittany did this to one of her cars, and it makes it look like a cartoon. I think it's super cool. I think it references somebody in some anime, but I have no idea who that is. Either way, I don't need that. It's just great. Now, let's go look at what Autorama is really known for in Dallas. Autorama is not known for motorcycles. There are motorcycles here, and we're going to show you a great collection of some vintage ones in a minute, but this is what, for me, Autorama is all about. All of the engraved stuff, and we'll show you a car that's built on the same vein. But this is over the top and just phenomenal. Take a look at this thing. Bring their mom.
You know, they say big things come in small packages. That's what this bike embodies. This is fantastic. I've never seen that before. I really want to know what it looks like when the light comes on. Is it shining that face out there for everyone to see?
I think that's probably one of the most badass parts of this bike, because if you want to scare a biker, bring his mom.
Now, Autorama is not just show cars, it is race cars too. Here we've got some vintage sprint cars, really cool. That one's from '76, this one's from 1965, and this one I believe is from 1960. 59 actually. So these are all owned by somebody here locally who's brought them all out to the show. Super jealous. I love these old sprint cars. What do you got?
I'd love to own a sprint car, but what I have is what I think is the best display. We talked about displays earlier. So this is a post-apocalyptic rat rod named Sinner. And this is what Autorama really is about. Look at the trash in the display, but even more so, look at this car. The Cummins. Tracks.
I know. Awesome.
I would daily drive this thing. Might be the best thing in Autorama today.
But you would have to park it like this every day.
Every time. That's a lot of work when you get
Yeah.
into the office.
Yeah.
Now over here, this is a lot of fun. Aaron.
Oh, this one is called Dementor.
Dementor, huh?
Yes.
That's isn't that a Harry Potter thing?
Yeah, I think they need chocolate to go away or something.
Something like that. Dementor is great. LT motor, coffin. I can't imagine it's anything other than a complete hoot and completely terrifying to drive, but I think it looks fantastic.
Reminds you a lot of Dracula from the Monsters, our good friend Butch Patrick.
Absolutely. Now, Aaron,
I'm not a big fan of this one myself.
Well, but you're a big football guy.
Well, yes, I do appreciate it as a car guy, as a football guy. I might like it something more in the Packers green and gold, but to each his own. What I love about this car, in addition to the great theme of it, this guy's taking it all the way. At Autorama, you have to cover your gas tank. You have to put a piece of tape over your gas tank. So as you go around, you'll see everybody has little pieces of green masking tape on their gas tank. That was not good enough here. This guy has a cowboy star that he used to cover up the gas tank. Well done.
And I want to point out that this just isn't about the Cowboys star. Look at all the autographs on this car. This thing is a complete collection in many ways in and of itself. Now we need to go over here and see one of the best things always at Autorama, an engraved car.
I love the lowriders at these shows. They are absolutely amazing. I do not know cool enough people to be able to do this for me, so that's why I love seeing it. The engraving on this car is second to none. And there are other ones that have been out to previous shows as well, and I love it. They just do that, just like the bike we just showed you. So much engraving. It's just a really cool touch. I love the purple paint on this one, but look at the display here. These mirrors showing off the meticulous rebuild underneath the cars is one of my favorite parts of Autorama. You'll see that on a lot of cars around here,
yeah.
But this one is in a really good spot, has really good lighting. Some of them bring their own lighting,
Certainly.
but I love being able to see underneath it as well.
I love this type of car.
Actually, it does look like he has some lighting to make sure that you're going to see it very well.
One of the highlights of this year's Dallas Autorama are the Batmobiles, and we start here with the Batman Forever Batmobile. They have 5 generations of Batmobiles here. This is from the Val Kilmer movie. It was not as popular as some of the other Batman movies, and really this is not the best Batmobile because it's got lights in it, so it's a lot less stealthy than the original new school Batmobile. Now this one is the Batman Returns Batmobile from 1992. This is the sequel, still directed by Tim Burton, starring Danny DeVito and Michael Keaton. Michael Keaton is barely in this movie. I don't even think he wanted to appear in it, but he needed another house. So he spent a couple of hours on the set. He's not in most of the movie, but still one of the best. Now, this is my Batmobile. This Batmobile is the original 1966 Batmobile from the Adam West Batman series, and I love this one. I grew up on this Batmobile. We used to watch the reruns all the time. I wasn't alive in the 60s, but this was on a lot in the 80s, and I love all the little bits of this Batmobile. You've got the radar, you've got the siren, because it's not enough to be a Batmobile. You have to have a siren so that people can see you. And even more, in the 1960s series, Batman and Robin always made a point of buckling up. Batman would always ask Robin, had you buckled up? And that really taught seatbelt safety for when they made it important in the 90s. So here we're the backside of Val Kilmer's Batmobile, where you've got the bat wings. Very stylistic movie, a lot of lights, a lot of colors, but I want you to notice Batman is always ready for anything, and he's got a bottle opener built here into this wing in the back. Now, this is most of the Batmobiles. We've got a couple more over this way. Come and check this out. Who are you?
I'm a Husman Bro.
There you go. Now, what do we have here, Aaron?
Well, of course, this is the Tumbler.
Okay.
One of the most unique Batmobiles ever made. This thing was built to look like a tank. It built to look like a military vehicle, and I think they did a fantastic job of it. Of course, this is the Batmobile from the Christian Bale Batman. It is designed to jump, roll, tumble, and land back on 4 wheels and continue going forward. That's why they call it the Tumbler. But this, of course, is from the Christian Bale Batman, Heath Ledger as Joker, one of my favorite Batman movies, The Dark Knight. Now, over here, we have the largest Batmobile ever produced. This one is completely made of fiberglass for the body, all handcrafted. The frame is handcrafted. This is the tubular frame. The frame, the brakes, all the mechanical pieces, all built by hand specifically for this vehicle here. It is a really cool look. It's very aggressive. It reminds you a lot of the 90s Batman, the Val Kilmers, the Michael Keatons, but I do love the giant gun on the front end. Now, this is a great collection. I'm gonna see if I can find the owner and ask him a little bit more about it. We've told you what we know about these cars from looking at them, but this guy knows a lot more. This is John, and John is the caretaker of all of these cars.
Yes.
Thank you very much for bringing them out here, and it's always awesome to be able to look at the Batmobiles in person, getting to look around them a little bit, but I wanna know a little bit more about what it means to have a collection of Batmobiles. So tell me about the acquisition of all these. Were they all bought or built?
They're all show cars, and we've been touring the Autoramas. This is our 4th show. We have 4 more to go. They've just been very, very exciting, and the crowd loves them. You know, basically.
Yeah. So tell me about the ones that you built, and which ones did you buy?
Okay, so I built the 1966 car approximately about 20 years ago. It's been on tour with a lot of cast members from the TV show, A Builder, and it's been all over the country.
So you've met Adam West?
Yes. Yes, I met Adam West and Burt Ward in Canada, and in New Jersey, as long as with the both Catwoman,
wow,
and several other cast members.
What about Cesar Romero?
Cesar Romero, that's a good question. I don't remember.
One of my favorites. So that one was built, and then
Yeah.
what about the rest of the Batmobiles?
Okay, so the 1992 Michael Keaton, that was taken out of Hollywood. That was brought down to Jersey approximately about 15 years ago.
So that is one of the actual cars from the movie?
That's an actual car.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, and so that was 90. When did you get that one?
And that was picked up in, I would say, in the 2000s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, do you drive these ever?
Well, I load them and offload them off the car carriers, off the trailers, and that's really it. They pretty much stay in a climate-controlled environment, and I try to keep them as pristine as I can.
And the next one, the Val Kilmer one, I guess, would be.
Yes. So that was out of Detroit. That was originally molded out of clay from a model, and then just built up into a full-size car. It's toured the country with Val Kilmer, many different shows, and gets a lot of likes.
Absolutely. What about the, I guess the Tumbler is next, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the Tumbler is pretty unique. You really have to know how to drive it. You have to know how to move it. It's a very heavy car, and I just pretty much take care of it from soup to nuts, from top to bottom.
Have you driven that one on the streets ever?
I haven't driven it on the streets, but I drive that up onto the car carrier if you've seen it.
Yeah.
It's about maybe 30 feet high up in the air.
Yeah.
Yep. So I drive it on and back it off.
And so tell me, which one is, I guess, your favorite to get in and out?
I guess the easiest to get in and out is the 66, the Adam West.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, John, you've been incredibly gracious with your time. I have one last question for
Yes.
you. Is the Batmobile collection complete? Are you done buying?
Almost. If any others come to my availability, I would be interested in moving forward.
Do you have your eye on one?
Yeah, why not?
Well, excellent. I look forward to you getting it and hopefully bringing it back at the Autorama soon.
You got
Thanks,
it.
John.
Thank you.
Yes.
Same here.
Now I had to stop at this one because this is over the top in all the right ways.
This one screams 80s.
It does.
From the square headlights.
Right, so this is a 1969 Mako Shark body kit on a 1969 Mako Shark, or 1969 Corvette. And this is one of very few built. The molds have been destroyed. And this one is, like I said, over the top, but chef's kiss perfect over the top. Look at all the details on this thing.
So you can see we got the 427 V8 in here, big block. The interior is tan. It's got embossed sharks on the headrests and on the visors here. I like the gold and red paint scheme that it's got going here. Like I said, this just screams 80s to me, even though it's a 1969 car.
It's a lot. Well, this one was built in the 2000s, I think. So it's a lot going on, but man, it's just the right amount of a lot for me.
Yeah.
It's perfect. Now let's go look at some classic cars.
Oh, okay.
So now we're coming to my favorite section. I don't like to show my Jag off, but I do like Jaguars. So here is a really interesting car. So this is not an original 1937.
It looks pretty original.
It kind of is, because it was built from parts after the 1937s were shut down.
So it's an OEM, but it's not an original build.
They call it a continuation. And here's the interesting thing is this is an SS, which stands for Swallow Sidecars, was what the original company that was Jaguar was.
Now this one looks fast.
This is my old mechanic, Richard's, and this is fast. Richard is, love you, Richard. Richard's a nut, and he likes to race Jaguars and British cars, and I'm glad to see he's finally painted this thing, but I've heard this thing ripping and roaring all over Dallas for years.
Looks like a beast.
You might not know it, but I'm a member of the club. Okay, now let's head up here to my favorites, E-Types.
Oh, E-Types, okay.
I think E-Types are the most beautiful car ever made, and I think a lot of people agree with me.
You know, when it comes to Jaguar, that's definitely one of the top ones that you think about.
For sure. Yeah. And for me, I think this one specifically, this belongs to my buddy JJ.
This is gorgeous.
It is
I
incredible.
love the blue paint with the red interior. It just looks really sharp, and the red line wheels are a great touch as well.
JJ has won so many concours with this car, but here's the fun part, is that every year he takes it down to the Texas Mile, and he tries to break a speed record. All stock, all restored, still a concours winning car. Now, let's head around this way. I know one of your favorite Jaguars is up here.
Oh, okay.
So I know the kind of Jaguar you think is a traditional Jaguar, and there actually is a beautiful one here.
Oh, good.
Now this is a great one too. Let me just pause here. This is my friend's Hot Rod E-Type.
Beautiful color.
Incredible car. Yeah. Just an amazing car.
Yeah, it looks like it's got some customization done to it. Not all original. I love all the switches on the dash on that.
Yeah, E-Types, I don't know, they feel like James Bond. That's why I like my Jaguar. It makes me feel like a kind of a more modern James Bond.
Yeah, so, now I do like a convertible, but here it is right here. For me, when it comes to Jaguars, and I think about a classic Jaguar, I think of the XK. It is a beautiful car. I don't know if I'm classy enough to drive one myself, but I love looking at them, I love seeing them, and it's great that somebody's brought one out today.
Yeah, Benz is just an amazing car. Love the color, love the car. It's actually been out to our garages meet a couple times.
I guess I haven't noticed that. So
now let's go over here. Here's a fun one. Now, Aaron, here's one that should be familiar to you. Just for a little background, we have been here in the Dallas car scene for 14 years now or so, and this car has been around quite a bit. Aaron, tell us about this car.
So this is a car that belongs to a client of ours, and it goes to a lot of shows. But if you don't know what a Survivor is, pay attention. This is a Survivor. Ron has owned this car since 1969. This is a 1963 split window Corvette in gold. If you've been around to car shows, I know you have not seen many gold Corvettes from 1963, but this is the original color, and some of the original things on this car are fantastic. He wants to leave a note here. This bad repair happened before he owned the car. He is not responsible for it. He's got one over here. Evans coolant, it's all chemical, no water. Oh, that's an advertisement actually. But he's got lots of great toys. This display is something else.
Well, it's not just the display, it's the car itself. Come closer and look at the cracking on the paint all through here. This is how is it, 60 years old?
I mean, he's owned it for 55 years, but I don't want to have to do the math on camera.
I don't either.
On how old it is. But I love Ron. Yes. He's awesome. He's a funny guy. He's got a $100 bill tucked in here. Fake one, of course, in case anybody wants to grab it. But he does have the original window sticker. And I just love this car. I love when I see it out. It's great to see him bring this car out. And it's really cool. I know he takes a lot of pride in this car. He keeps it well maintained, but he just hasn't done anything cosmetically to it.
Right. Then we've got what it looked like coming off the line right next to it, which is kind of fun. Same color.
But this is a restoration.
Right.
So that's a Survivor. This one's a restoration. It has been gone through. He's got a book there with all the pictures of it, and it looks fantastic. He's done a great job of it, and it does look like it rolled off the showroom floor. He too has the window sticker, but it feels like that one has traveled more miles than this one has.
Well, certainly.
Well, literally has traveled more miles, but the window sticker.
So leave a comment down below. Which one of these cars would you like to own? All original or completely restored.
Tons to see here at Autorama.
So much more than we could make. We could make an hour video here at Autorama. There's so much to see.
Well, I don't think you'd watch it. I'm just saying.
That's what Grayson keeps telling us. If you'd watch an hour-long video, leave a comment down below, and we will absolutely make them. But there is so much to see, so much chrome, so much color, just an amazing thing. If you have time, come out to Autorama, Dallas, Houston. Go to World of Wheels to find where the next Autorama show is near you and check it out.
So for those of you who stayed tuned past the 45-second mark, thank you.
Yes.
Please make sure to leave a comment below on which car you think was the best one that we showed you today at Autorama.
And if we missed something important, you can leave that comment as well. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.